What is something that you need to confess? I somehow remembered my throwaway account. I never graduated college. In fact, I barely went to a community college before dropping out. Before working for the company I do now, I never had a job higher than third key manager for retail stores. I was unemployed and really starting to stress out about finding a job before getting evicted. So one night, in a bout of depression, I made up a fake resume. I gave myself awesome jobs, gave myself a degree from a decent college, made up some references, basically made the perfect resume. I then submitted it to what was a dream job for me then. I got an interview. At this point I was thinking it would be a great story to tell my buddies after bombing the interview. But I didn't. It went perfectly. I'm telling you that I could have done that interview 1,000 different times and it would have never come off better. I was simply on fire that day and they ended up offering me the job. So I accepted. It was for a salary that was almost 3 times I had ever made in my life. I figured at this point what was the worst that could happen? Maybe I'll get a week or 2 of paychecks before firing me. But that didn't happen. I've been promoted 4 times since then. After starting off making around $60,000 a year, almost $40,000 a year more than I ever made before, I now make over 6 figures a year. Before this job I never had a job outside of retail. I turned in the resume more as a joke than anything else and it kept snowballing. This is the best example of fake it till you make it I have ever heard. Sometimes I get bouts of depression but I am too proud to go on a regular low-dose antidepressant. I'm lonely and would like to become friends with certain people I know and reconnect with old friends I have drifted away from. However, I'm afraid of being hurt and or judged, so I don't open up and I pull away from people if I feel I am opening up too much. No shame in trying, but staying lonely isn't any way to get where you want to be. Sometimes I feel sorry for inanimate objects. Like if I have to take a gift back that doesn't fit, I feel like it's sad because it thought it had a home and now it doesn't. I am terrified of my parents. I'm 20, living at home with them, and can't even go out to hang with friends because I am so scared to talk to them. My giant sexy engagement ring is a created diamond. You, my dear co-workers, all love it to death and go on about how amazing it is because you think my fiancé dropped $10,000 on it. It cost $50 on eBay and I love it because it's science and not De Beers. You guys are on your way to a happy marriage. I pushed a 3rd grade kid over when I was in the 6th grade. He started crying, and I panicked and ran away. Turned my head and he was all alone on the playground, sitting in his own tears. I'm sorry. I act like I can't wait to experience life and explore the world, and I mean, I am excited for that stuff, but I'm also scared shitless of the big, scary world I'll have to explore, because when I start exploring, I won't have anyone to comfort me when things go bad. I am just really scared for the future. There are many big things I want to accomplish, but I feel like I am not good enough to reach those things. Me too, I am afraid of failing. I am friends with someone not because I like them or care about them, but mostly because their life problems are interesting to listen to. I feel terrible about it. When I was a teacher, I hit a kid one time. I resigned as soon as the year was up. He was doing something extremely dangerous, climbing on theater flies during a play and wouldn't get down when I asked him to repeatedly, and in the moment I was so angry and worried at the same time. I couldn't think rationally about what else to do. I was also worried about the other kids BC they were starting to rally thinking what he was doing was cool, and I had to get so I reached up. He was only just above my head, and smacked him. He was shocked but got down immediately, even though I didn't hit him hard enough to hurt. Just a backhand smack to the back of his head. I was worried sick for so long that he was going to complain to his parents the school but I never heard he did. I realized right then I was not cut out for classroom teaching. I have not regretted not going back. I can see why you would have been worried about him telling. At least you removed yourself from the situation if you thought it wasn't for the best. I don't have a confession, but I do want to say that absolutely bro. She's replying to every single comment. No problem, I'm a ludibro. I can't stand the other musician in my section. I spend 5+ hours a week sitting next to her. unable to stand up for myself against her complaining and constant derogatory comments towards me. You can do it without being rude, even. Just simply tell her that her remarks are inappropriate and offensive, and you would like it if she would knock it off. If she's one of those people who doesn't give a crap, just ignore her, block her out, and know that you're not a little crap like her. There is a girl who may or may not check my Reddit account. I've always liked you. I'd do a lot for you. It's a shame. Honestly, the only reason why I haven't killed myself is because I can't do that to my parents. I've been suicidal all my life and no one knows about it. Same boat. I feel like a failure when I should have the whole world in front of me. The only thing I have keeping me going is that I promised myself that I would make it to at least 35 before killing myself. This way my parents are most likely dead by then. I have to move back home from living on campus at college to living at home and commuting because of money I need to help take care of my mom. I'm 19. I feel like adulthood is being thrust onto me, and I don't feel ready. I feel like a brat for saying that, but I'm scared. It's okay to be scared. People suck. I hate when you spend weeks making plans with people, then right before you execute the plan, they inform you that, oh, I forgot, or maybe next time. Frick people like that. Is it that freaking hard to make a plan and stick to it? I understand things come up, but when you go onto Facebook and post photos of you having a good time when we were supposed to do something, it really irks me. Also, when people call you best friends yet you haven't spoken to each other since the other person got a boyfriend. I don't want a dang relationship with you. I just want a friend. TLDR, some people suck. Especially those who call you friend but never speak to you. I've been guilty of that a few times, but I genuinely feel bad about it. I really need an agenda, because things crisscross sometimes. Yeah, those people make me mad too. We aren't best friends. We are just friends, at the very least. I'm slowly becoming more racist the more time I work for the company I'm working for. It's a telemarketing job that I took while I'm in between jobs. It's only my second week, but I've heard more complaints about how the government make me work to get my check while my homegirl and sis sit at home and the government pay 'em to watch day kids. I gotta get me prego so I don't gotta work. The instance today that pee me off was my training group was called into the other room for an hour of training. I came back to my workstation to find my chair replaced with a broken one, my headset completely unplugged and replaced with one with no volume control, and everything on my desk askew, monitor left sideways, towel left tipped over after unplugging my headset. The lady sitting next to me had her station taken over because the headset and chair thief wanted to sit next to her friend. So I called my trainer over, explained the situation. Had no idea where headsets plug into or how to get them back on so the computer would register them. While getting the death stare by Shanae, not real name, computer was set back up and now I had to sit for a restart. Shanae gets up while making a scene and being overdramatic, saying she has to leave before she makes a scene. I then stand up as well and lay into her with something along the lines of, excuse me, you are already making a scene. You have been talking to your friend next to you thinking I couldn't hear you, but I did. If you have something to say to me, then say it to my face. Don't be a cowardly little girl that is too shy to confront someone up close and personal. Normally I wouldn't give a dang what someone like you would say about me, because frankly you will never amount to anything in life. You blame other people for the hardships in your life and don't take responsibility for your own actions. At this point she starts trying to insult me, calling me overweight and other childish mocking. I interrupt her by saying, if you are going to insult me, at least have some grip of the English language. Now when you interrupt and mess with my ability to make money I need to survive, that's when I draw the line. The chair I can let slide. But I have been unable to be productive and lost half an hour plus that I could have been making sales and commission, all because you couldn't put up with missing volume button that you've dealt with all day. You just felt the need to switch your equipment when you only have another hour left in your shift. Was it really bugging you that badly? No, you saw that I had something better than what you had and you decided you needed it more. By that time I had managers getting in between us and she was moved to the other side of the room along with her friend. If you've read this far, thank you for listening to my vent. I needed to do that. TLDR. Chewed out ghetto B and new job for screwing with my ability to make money. Expecting to have tires slash tomorrow at work. I masturbate in the bathroom at work 3 times a day. I'm terrified of going to university and I'm getting on in age. Rubbed willies with a guy once. I've been taking stimulants to lose weight and I think they are going to kill me. My heart is beating hard as frick right now and I have a terrible pain in my left wrist. Steadily on my way to becoming an alcoholic. My mother's husband killed my guinea pig, so I scrubbed the toilet with his toothbrush, pee in his wine, put glass shards in his shoe, put hydrogen peroxide in his eye drops and spiked one of his lunches with ketamine. He got into a car accident after the ketamine one and I'm dang freaking proud of what I did. I'm still crazy in love with my ex-girlfriend. I cheated at poker this Saturday so that my friend would win. I probably have an STI but I'm too afraid to get tested. Also, I stole some of my friend's Pokemon cards 8 years ago. I'm really sorry about that one, Chris. My bad. I fricked my best friend while her girlfriend was in the next room. I'm so sorry about that, Lauren. We both fricked up really hard. I can never make that up to you. That is quite a confession. I'm a girl and I'm incredibly attracted to a female character in my favorite video game. I've thought I was straight my whole life and I haven't told anyone. Not even my boyfriend of 2 years. Sometimes when I think about it I can't help but feel like a freak. Especially since she isn't even real. Sounds like a manifestation of urge suppression. Not as weird as you might think. I love my husband and my kids. But I really love being absolutely alone. When the hurricane hit in Virginia a couple years ago, I sent my kids to their dad since we live on the coast to be safe and my husband had to stay on post for a few days. It was heaven. It doesn't seem like a big deal but I still feel kinda crappy for feeling like it was a vacation to be alone in a hurricane, even with no power. My anxiety and depression are coming back. My old crush is still harassing me about liking her. I'm too afraid to ask out this girl I like because of non-stop rejection. I'll probably end up failing school due to depression and none of my friends give a dang about it. This is going to be way buried. Whatever. I've never told anyone this. Not even my therapist. I've faked almost every orgasm my husband. He started out as a one night stand so I didn't think it was that big of a deal. Then we were FWB. Then we dated. Now we are married. I fake almost every time and it's been 2 years and I think I'll be doing this the rest of my life. I really don't care about the welfare of anyone around me. If someone close to me died tomorrow I would feel nothing and probably just continue playing video games or reading. I'm not depressed or anything. I'm really quite happy in life but I've just become a bit emotionally numb. Wit. You'll say that until someone actually goes. I wronged someone who wants to have some place in my life now, and I think I'm too guilt-ridden to let it be successful. I hate my dad, and the reason why I have to tell my friends that I can't go out with them is because it is just my mom and I for the night, as it is so often, and I have to be with her, otherwise I feel that she will get really sad, so I have to take care of her. My grandfather was in a nursing home waiting for his arm to heal. While my parents went out of town, I was supposed to go over and check up on him. Before I went to go check up on him, I had a panic attack obsession about a door being closed. During this time I got a call, 25 minutes from the start of my obsession with the door and the call, that my grandfather fell and broke his hip trying to let his dog out. He never recovered. He spent the last 3 years of his life a broken in spirit for knowing he would never be able to go back home and broken in body once he gave up trying to get better. The last 6 months were him wanting to die and my family not being able to do anything but wait and watching as he slowly died. All because I had a panic attack and wasn't around to let out his dog for him. No one in my family knows this. I was drugged and raped by my cousin's boyfriend while she watched when I was 17, but when I see them I pretend nothing ever happened. I look in the mirror and see a horribly fat, ugly, and disfigured person worthy of nothing. I've been fighting the urge to start cutting again. I feel emotionally abandoned by 80% of my friends and family. I eat lunch at school, and then immediately throw it up in the bathrooms. My mom's standards are too high because she's expecting me to never frick up ever, since my sister was the dropout drug addict that nobody wants to be around. I am lost and scared and can't shake the feeling that one of these days I'm going to end up horribly hurting or killing myself and disappointing everyone around me. I am an inconvenience. I give more effort trying to help people than I do trying to be happy myself. I've suppressed what I suspect to be depression and occasional suicidal thoughts for years because I never feel like I have someone I can talk about life to, and I don't want to go to someone for help. I don't think I'm at risk. I just often find myself incredibly worn out and unhappy because I am so hard on myself and give most of my energy to others. I feel like I was born in the wrong era and I always have, but I never say it because everyone will think that I'm being silly or that I just can't commit to anything. So I'm making excuses for my mediocre performance in things. I've always had a lust for adventure and commotion, and I've secretly amassed a hoard of nautical and marine knowledge and memorabilia. I've always wanted to just sail around the world, be it under a captain or with my own team. I've wanted to just go from one place to another, trading good for whatever money it takes to keep the boat afloat and my crew and I alive, but not enough to get lazy. I seriously wish that I could apply my maritime knowledge to something useful. It feels like I've learned how to navigate anywhere for nothing but a childish fantasy. In fact, that's what I've wasted most of my life on. Now, I'm unhappy because I'll never set sail because I'm just simply born in the wrong era to do so. I've been having an affair for 8 months and I don't see it stopping anytime soon. I've been married for a little over 3 years. He's been married for 6 years. My husband is friends with him. My husband very rarely wants to have sex with me. He started losing interest in me about 6 months after we got married. Maybe 3 or 4 times a year. That isn't for lack of attention on my part. I've tried everything I could to get him interested. My husband refuses to go to therapy with me or visit a doctor. I also started to get interested in BDSM and other kinky stuff right after we married. I was raised sheltered, so it was all really new. My husband is completely turned off by BDSM or anything kinky. I love my husband very much. Every time I see him, I get instantly happy. I love talking to him and spending time with him. But he just doesn't want to give me something I need. I happen to find a guy who will. He has similar issues with his wife. The other man's wife, according to him, doesn't want anything to do with him sexually anymore and is pretty vanilla. His wife told him she thought he was disgusting. He still loves her very much and he really wants to have a family with her someday. We meet maybe 3 or 4 times a month. We never text each other or call each other. Plans are always made over email with incognito windows and we meet at a neutral location. If my husband ever decides to go to therapy or if he wants to have sex more often, I would stop seeing the other guy in a heartbeat. I know I'm going to get downvoted to heck for even typing this, but I had to get it off my chest. I care very deeply about my husband. If he doesn't want to sleep with me, that's okay. But I'm tired of feeling like crap because I want something he doesn't want to give me. TLDR. I've been sleeping with a friend of my husband's for months. My husband doesn't want sex very often and is turned off by my kinks. The other guy's wife won't sleep with him and thinks his interest in BDSM is disgusting. We frick instead. You're just being honest. I don't think cheating is okay, but I also don't think that not working on a relationship is okay either. Good luck. I wish there was something wrong with me. I wish there was just some part of me that I have no control over to blame everything on. Sometimes I just want to be able to complain and ask people for help, but I can't, because there's nothing wrong with me. Whenever I feel worthless, depressed, or hate everyone, I can always rationalize it and, at least somewhat, figure out why I feel the way that I do. But sometimes, I just don't want to be able to do that. Whenever I feel lost, or like I have no purpose, I always feel so goddamn guilty for it, and I can't talk to anyone because I can just freaking reason my way through it on my own. But now, I just don't want to. I don't want to be responsible for everything I feel. I want to be able to just blame everything on something I can't control. I want there to be something wrong with me. Even this, I feel guilty posting after reading all of the real problems people have. Nearly 22 and I still have not had a girlfriend. Never had sex either. I don't even want a girlfriend for the sex, but rather for the companionship. Having someone actually cares about me. It's not like I'm not trying. There's just something about me that most girls don't want a part of. I feel broken. Socially, the 3 girls I've asked out in the past half a year all answered with no. It's their right, and I accept their choice. but dang if it doesn't hurt. It makes me feel undesirable. I feel alone. I just want someone. I'm not a Christian, but everyone I know thinks I am. I grew up in church and thought I was a Christian for a long time, but I'm not. I'm desperately in love with a girl in my theater class. Furthermore, I have homicidal fantasies about nearly everyone I know. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.